A black man shoved a white cop, and just a second later, he got shot in the stomach. A rookie officer who had just started the job stood there frozen, not knowing what to do. But since the man was black, the cops still went ahead and searched him from head to toe, then cuffed him like they'd done it 100 times before. When they tried to walk him to the patrol car, they realized he had already stopped breathing. His wife and daughter were right there, helplessly watching everything unfold. It didn't take long for the media to pick up the story. The cops claimed he reached for his phone, which made them feel threatened. So the officer who fired the shot was cleared the very next day. His younger brother couldn't believe it. He knew the justice system wasn't going to fight for them, so he went straight to the courthouse, determined to get justice on his own. It didn't take long before a crowd of officers surrounded him. He knew the risks. He might spend the rest of his life in prison, but for him, it was the only way if he wanted to live with dignity in this country. These two incidents only made racial tension worse. White cops started randomly checking black people, trying to provoke them just to make an arrest. But this time, they didn't know the man they stopped was actually a cop too. And when they saw the gun on his hip, they freaked out and pulled their weapons. Before anyone could explain, shots were fired, and the black officer fired right back without hesitation. In the end, both sides got hit. Everyone was rushed to the hospital. Luckily, the black officer was wearing a bulletproof vest. The bullet didn't get through. That's the only reason he made it out alive. But that white officer wasn't nearly as lucky. The bullet went straight to his heart. Even though doctors did everything they could, they still couldn't save him in the end. Soon after, his parents rushed to the hospital, and when they found out a black man had pulled the trigger, his father lost it. He stormed into the station and started yelling at the chief, but the chief didn't take the bait. He knew if things got out of control, he'd be held responsible too. So he tossed out a few words and sent the angry dad on his way. Meanwhile, the black officer was brought in for questioning. They grilled him hard, and he explained exactly what went down that night. He said he was just chatting with a friend when a group of cops suddenly ran up on him. One of them pulled a gun and fired without warning. He said he shot back just to survive, and didn't believe he'd done anything wrong. Once they got his side of the story, the investigator went to talk to one of the white officers involved, but the guy gave a totally different version, full of lies and contradictions. He claimed the black cop started the whole thing, that they were just asking questions, and the guy suddenly pulled a gun and shot his partner, basically tried to flip the entire situation on its head. But the stories didn't line up, and the investigator could tell the white officer was making things up. Still, until the truth came out, the black cop was placed on temporary suspension. He hated how this whole thing smelled of racism, the kind that made life harder for black folks every single day. Luckily, the lead investigator wasn't biased. His wife was black, so he saw things clearly from the start. He wanted solid proof and wasn't about to let this go. He tracked down the white cop again for a face-to-face, but the guy kept lying through his teeth, denying everything. So the investigator gave him a cold warning. Keep lying and you'll never see your family again. That hit a nerve. The cop snapped, started cursing, and even shouted a bunch of racist slurs. That was it. The investigator slammed him against the wall and kept the pressure on. After a long back and forth, the white officer finally broke. He confessed to what really happened. The investigator brought the recording back to the station, and just like that, the case took a turn. The black officer was finally cleared of all charges.